जय गुरु जी। गुरु जी महाराज के चरणों में सादर प्रणाम और सारी जुड़ी संगत को भी प्यार भरी नमस्ते। गुरु जी महाराज immense grace and blessings that we are able to read his divine Granth, the light of divinity. And today, to continue receiving our blessings, we will be reading Satsang of Chavi and Sumeet Jethra. Jai Guru Ji. I was lost completely. Life seemed to be drifting by. Over time, I had lost faith in God. I felt God did not exist. I had stopped going to the temples or offering prayers. Life seemed an ordeal. I would wonder many times why God had created me. Just to enjoy the show when I was in trouble? If at all God did exist, I used to think he was a sadist. Yet, Guruji took me under his sharan, blessed me with his darshan, nurtured me like a mother nurtures her child, gave me so much that I cannot even thank him for it. I may never know all that he has done for me. For what I see, what I have got is just the tip of the iceberg. That too, when I did not deserve any of it, without my ever asking for it, without ever letting me feel that he was giving me so much. Retrieved from the clutches of cancer. We were first blessed with the darshans of Guruji Maharaj in March 1998. I was 24 years old then and had been operated upon for neuroblastoma, a malignant tumor. My life was devastated. A colleague of my mother, both doctors by profession, had told us about the miraculous powers of Guruji. But a newcomer like me was naturally skeptical. As directed, we told Guruji about my condition. Guruji's response was, Kalyan Kita, I have blessed you. Little did we realize the impact of these words. When Guruji says something, it is eternal truth. It took us a long time to realize that I had been eternally blessed. I was getting the blessed langar and prasad, which was Guruji's medicine for treating me, and the result was for all to see. Unbelievably, I was on the road to recovery. A couple of months later, the divine healing was confirmed. I had gone for a CT scan 6 months after the operation to check the status of the disease. The scan showed that the three suspicious patches on the liver, kidney, and stomach, observed in the post operative scan earlier, had now disappeared. A miracle with a capital M had just occurred. My body had been retrieved from the clutches of cancer. In due course, with Guruji's blessings, I recovered completely. Today it had been nearly a decade ever since cancer afflicted me. I have not only shaken off the disease, I retain Guruji's blessings of good health. The only medicines I have been taking are the langar and chai prasad. The doctors who had been dismissively skeptical of my recovery now tell me to forget that I ever had cancer. They don't need to tell me. I know. I have got a new life with the grace of Guruji's blessings. Phagwara to Delhi by car, eyes wide shut. In February 2002, we got an invitation from Guruji to attend a marriage. The marriage was in Phagwara, Punjab, several hundred kilometers from Delhi. My parents and I went for the marriage. On the wedding day, we started off in the morning in our car and reached the venue in the evening. Guruji had come to bless the couple and the Sangat. After the ceremony, Guruji asked us that another devotee, General Malhotra, and us to leave for Delhi without staying over for the night. We did as told. It was 12:30 in the night when we headed towards Delhi. Our car was following Mr. Malhotra's gypsy. I was behind the wheel. Soon after we started the journey, my parents fell asleep. After 15 minutes of driving, I too started feeling a bit sleepy. It, it being night and there being little or no traffic on the highway, we were traveling at the speed of over 100 kilometers per hour. As time progressed, I felt more and more sleepy. I could not wake up Dad as he was tired from the day long journey and we had to follow Guruji's Adesh. So the journey could not be avoided. Thrice I was jolted from my sleep only to realize that the car was going off the road. It was comfortably steered back on the track every time. We stopped the car once and I washed my face with cold water to freshen up a bit. That it did not help was another matter. We kept on driving the whole night. I could barely hold my head up to see the road. My eyes were remotely locked on the taillights of the gypsy ahead and the hands taking the support of the wheel. I knew that if the car ahead braked, I would not be able to brake in time, even though I was maintaining a good distance. I also know that I do not remember passing a single town that night. I do not remember seeing any other vehicle that we might have passed. After entering Delhi in the morning, I asked my father to drive as I could not do so further. Was it me who was driving the car that night? Or was there an invisible force that was keeping the car on track for so many hundreds of kilometers? Even today, when I tell people about this incident, they are horrified. Anything could have happened that night. But I know Guruji is there, always protecting us all, no matter where we are, whether we are awake or driving or sleeping. We just have to follow his Adesh without thinking about ifs and buts. We are bound to succeed because his blessings are there with us. He is the one who has to do everything, while it may appear that we are doing something. All we can say is, thank you, Guruji. The Master Wedding Planner. Soon after I had been cured of cancer, Guruji would frequently tell my parents, Munde da vyah kara do, get your son married. Whenever we visited him, a search was launched, but without success. Somehow things were not materializing anywhere. We told Guruji about this. He replied, Tenu Punjabi kudi dilaunga. You will get a Punjabi girl. Since we did not know any Punjabi family, we asked Guruji if we were to put an advertisement in the newspaper. He forbade this, saying, Chinta na kar, ho jayega. Don't worry, it will be done. Again, we did not realize the truth behind Guruji's words. Since I never went to any social gatherings, we were wondering how this would happen, as even my friends in office had relocated. I rarely visited the office canteen, but once when I had gone there with some colleagues, a girl suddenly came and asked me about one of my friends, Deepak. I told her that Deepak had left office some time back. The girl Chavi had done her MCA training under my friend before he had left. Now she had joined our office as an employee after a gap of 1 year. Soon, things started to moving in the right direction. We asked Guruji about the match, which he blessed. Need I add here that the girl belonged to a Punjabi family, as Guruji had foretold almost 3 years ago? Holding our malefic stars at bay. Soon after our marriage, our problems began. Everything seemed to be going wrong. We would have lots of fights over seemingly trivial issues. Out of nowhere and for no reason, our fights would erupt. Either we would not get time together, or if we got time, we would be fighting. As time progressed, both the frequency as well as the intensity of our troubles increased. So much so that, much distressed, we would pour our hearts out before Guruji. If we were to have so many troubles, we would say, You should not have allowed us to marry. This went on for almost 2 years. While we were being short sighted, Guruji had planned way ahead. The troubles that we would otherwise have faced over the rest of our lives were reduced to a very short duration. During this time, our marriage were held intact by the invisible force of Guruji's grace. Soon after, things seemed coming out on the right track. The problems disappeared as mysteriously as they had come. There was nothing that we had done or could do to sort things out. It was only because of the blessings of Guruji that our horoscopes had been rewritten. The dark night was over. Proof of this, though none is required, comes from the fact that predictions of Chavi's father, who reads horoscopes himself, which were earlier reasonably accurate, have all proved wrong for her after her marriage. There is no relation between her horoscope and what actually happens in her life. I get out of office snare. I was once having a lot of trouble in office. The result was that we would remain tense and lie awake all night. I developed severe acidity and suffered from lack of sleep. I would not even take leave from office. This went on for one full week. On Monday morning next week, I woke up and found that my right leg had developed a peculiar problem. I could not control my right foot beyond 90-degree angle. That meant I could not stretch it and it would drop lifelessly whenever I lifted my foot. At first it seemed as though it was a temporary numbness, but when there was no improvement during the whole day, it seemed a major problem was round the corner. Meanwhile, I had to compulsorily take leave from office as I could not even walk normally. I had to drag my foot since I could not lift it. I got the leave, an impossible request considering the situation prevailing in office the previous week, easily. Over the next few days, we were running around in hospitals where a number of tests, particularly of the nerves, were done to find out the cause of the problem. All the reports were normal, yet we had a problem at hand. During this time, I realized that when the need so arose, I could drive a two wheeler and even the car. And this I did, even I had to drop my wife to office a few kilometers away, since I could not control the foot when the angle was less than sorry Sangaji, since I could control the foot when the angle was less than 90 degrees, I could drive even though the problem was in the right foot, which is used for braking and acceleration. The severity of the problem helped me get leave from office, and the running around in hospitals for tests took my mind off the tension. 3 weeks after the problems was first discovered, I resumed work at office. I was fit and fine mentally as well as physically. Where the so-called problem had come from and where it vanished to, no one knows. The problem was never diagnosed and a solution never found. But this problem did take away my real problem. How Guruji solves our problems so perfectly, only he knows. And the jigsaw puzzle fits in place when he is at work. Landing in the lap of God. One evening, I was going to pick up my wife from office. Since I was getting late, I was going fast at around 70 kilometers per hour. Suddenly, on a busy crossing, something came under the wheel of my scooter. The impact was such that I just flew off it and hit the ground head first. Due to the first momentum, I skidded on the road with my head and right shoulder bearing all the weight. I skidded a long distance, as did my scooter. Once I was able to get up, I took a taxi and came back home. Except for minor bruises on the leg and the collarbone fracture from which I recovered within a week, I was all right. Guruji's grace and protective power was clearly evident throughout. Even though the accident took place at a busy intersection during peak office hours, yet not a single vehicle was present. The impact with which I had landed on my head should have resulted in severe head injuries, if not a broken neck resulting in fatality. On the contrary, there was not even a single scratch on my face. During the long distance along which both I and scooter skidded, I could easily have been hit either by my own vehicle or crashed into the central verge just a few feet away. And last but not the least, recovering from a collarbone fracture in a week is nothing short of miracle in itself. Evidence of the fact is that exactly a week after the accident, we had to shift our residence. While my parents were out, my wife and I shifted all the heavy furniture in the house. My shoulder bore all the weight comfortably. Guruji's protection surpasses all odds. Long before we know that we are in trouble, Guruji arranges for our protection. Either the severity of the problem is reduced or it is eradicated even before it occurs. Protection Unlimited saved once again. My wife and I had left our of Gurgaon home for office one day, and since as usual I was running late, I was driving very fast. It was a straight stretch of road and practically empty. Suddenly, the person traveling ahead of us on a scooter stopped in the middle of the road to talk to someone. He did not know that there was another vehicle behind him. Though I braked, the car skidded and hit the scooter. The man was thrown off the scooter and landed on the windscreen of our car. He was brought to one side and made to lie down on the grass. He had been hit in the back badly and was not able to sit up because of the impact. Except for a very minor cut on the head, there was no open wound. We took him to the hospital nearby where the doctors performed several x rays and tests on him. And I was praying to Guruji both for the person and also for myself, as there would have been serious repercussions of anything serious happening to the man. My prayers were answered when the reports came. The doctors confirmed that there had been no major injury to the person, but because of the bad hit in the back and to get over the shock, he just needed some rest. He was discharged later the same day. I left the hospital thanking Guruji for saving me once again. Now my wife Chavi recounts how she switched jobs and how we were blessed with our children Arjun and Gauri. I get a job in 48 hours. March 2005, I was very upset with my job at that time. I had been trying for a change of job since the last 2 years. Unnecessarily late hours, a bad work culture, and poor work appreciation was commonplace. On Thursday, out of sheer frustration, I decided to skip office. I just prayed to Guruji about my job. Suddenly, in the evening, I decided to apply for openings available online and we left for Sumeet's office. I felt Guruji's presence close to me at that time. On the way to office, I got a call from friend saying there were vacancies in their office in Noida. I looked at Guruji's photo in the car and felt as if Guruji was smiling. I mailed my resume to my friend and the very next morning got a call for the test and interview to be held on Saturday. Since only a day was left for the interview and there were lots of things to study, I asked Sumeet to test me. He took the test for less than an hour and asked about 10 to 15 questions randomly from a database of more than 1,000 questions. After that, I asked him if I had passed the test and he said yes. I felt as if it was not Sumeet but Guruji who had said yes. At the interview, I was to go through 2 rounds. The first round was a written test. If cleared, it could be followed by a technical interview. In the first round, the seat that was allotted to me had a photograph of Lord Shiva as the desktop wallpaper. I took it as a message from Guruji that I would get through the written round, and I cleared the round comfortably. In the next round, I was asked questions pertaining to my subject. And believe it or not, I was asked the very same questions that Sumeet had asked me the night before. While all other candidates were interviewed for at least an hour, I was given the green signal in just 15 minutes. Not only that, my salary package was double of what I was getting earlier, and I had a comfortable work environment. While the interview was being conducted, Sumeet was waiting for me outside the office. When I went back, before I could say anything, Sumeet cut me short and asked me, "Have you got the appointment letter today or will they give it on Monday?" I told him what had happened inside. For a non believer, this may seem like a series of coincidences, but the fact remains this was only due to Guruji's meher, grace, that I got to switch jobs within just 48 hours. Not only was I able to change over from a dissatisfying work environment, I got a job that was far more suitable and better than my last one in all respects. Twin blessings in our lives. After 2 years of marriage, we had planned to start a family. When we did not succeed, we decided to seek medical advice. The first bad news came when we knew that there was surely some problem. After visiting many more doctors and undergoing treatments, including Ayurvedic therapies and other countless investigations, the results shook our world. The verdict was that there was some problem with me which reduced my chances of conceiving to 25%. But my husband's reports were worse. All the doctors confirmed that his count was practically nil. We were also told that not only it would be nearly impossible for us to go the family way, but even the most advanced technique, IVF, the chances of success were remote. We were skeptical about going in for the treatment because of several factors, but primarily due to the low chances of success. We even started thinking of going in for adoption. But all was not lost yet. We got a message from Guruji to go in for treatment as Guruji had blessed us for the same. On the New Year's Eve in 2005, Guruji, while giving prasad to me, said, Ja tenu tuadi dawai. Ja tenu dawai ditti. I was given you medicine. And from the same day, we started the treatment. It was not easy, but Guruji helped us in every step to complete the treatment. Be it physical pain or financial trouble or anything else, Guruji protected us throughout. On 13th February, on my birthday, he gave us a gift when the report confirmed the good news. On 26th February 2006, which was Shivratri, I had a massive hemorrhage. I was in terrible pain the whole day. Sumeet placed a photo of Guruji by my side, after which I got some relief and was able to sleep for an hour. In the evening, my brother in law Hitesh called us up from Bade Mandir and told us that my name was in the Aarti list and should be and that we should be there in time. Upon hearing this, tears rolled down our eyes. How much Guruji cares for each one of his Sangat. Even though our doctor had given strict instructions that I should not move out of bed, not even to the bathroom, and I did not even have the strength to get up the whole day, a miracle happened after the phone call from Bade Mandir. I was not only able to get out of bed, I got ready and reached Bade Mandir just in time for the aarti. Since the doctor had advised complete bed rest for a few days and even forbidden us to come to her, as any moment could have been dangerous. We visited her after a few days. The doctor became pale after examining me. She told me that it was a massive hemorrhage and the placenta had been detached, but both the babies were fine and growing well. That was another of Guruji's miracle. Of course, we did not have the nerve to tell her that I had traveled nearly 80 kilometers the other day. After this incident, I was prescribed very heavy dosages of medication, which was causing a lot of nausea. I was not able to take such a dose, so every time I would pray to Guruji to save me from the medicines. Soon I was diagnosed with jaundice due to its due to over medication. The doctor had no choice but to stop all medicines. Thank you, Guruji, once again. Doctors had given us 22nd October as the due date, but on 21st September, he conveyed to us by Guruji, we received the most beautiful gifts, twins. After discharge from hospital, we took the newborns to Empire State to get Guruji's blessings. Guruji very lovingly smiled on them and blessed them and named them Arjun and Gauri. We know Guruji had we know, Guruji, that we can never thank you enough for all that you have done for us. There are innumerable instances of Guruji. Many had varied blessings. It is not possible to list all those, and so many, so only some of major ones had been listed here. We are eternally thankful to Guruji that he is there to protect us, guide us, and shower his blessings on us. Shukrana Guruji. With this, we come to end of this reading. While reading, I must have made a lot of mistakes. So, with folded hands and bowed head, I seek forgiveness from Guruji Maharaj and all of you. Shukrana.